When the words coming out of your mouth are true and you believe what you're saying, that's authenticity. All right, I'm just going to dive right into it and get straight to the point like I usually do. Show me how somebody operates in their personal life, and I will show you how they operate in their business, in their relationships, when it comes to their physical health, just about everything. When you do not have a system in place for how you operate your business, when you don't have routines set up at home for yourself personally, even your children, you are literally living in chaos. And the effects of that long term is that you build a life and you build a business on quicksand instead of a sturdy, fail-proof foundation. A solid foundation, though, is not built overnight. Building a business on solid foundation and selling that concept to people, by the way, is a lot like selling a lifestyle change when it comes to your physical health. Think about the weight loss industry, for example. If it were that easy to be in shape, we wouldn't have the obesity epidemic that we have in the United States, right? There's all these other factors, of course, like our chemical system, which is not a food system, but I won't go off on that tangent. But just when it comes to the fundamentals, everybody wants the quick fix, right? Everyone wants the next sexy diet. And what they fail to understand is that people who are walking around in this hot body that you want, ideal physiques, they're walking around looking better than you. Why? Because they understand the importance of a solid foundation, and just as important, they understand the fundamentals of building that solid foundation. Like, there are fundamentals to having a solid foundation, and many people do not like the fundamentals, but the fundamentals are typically rooted in science and actualities. And in today's world, we try to change facts because of our feelings. So what do I mean by that? Solid foundation built on fundamentals. These are laws of nature. These are proven, time-tested methodologies that we know, when followed, will create lasting results. If repeated time and time again, which means you got to be consistent. And I know that consistency is kind of an annoying word for a lot of people. Why? Because it's not sexy. It's boring. So people try to change the laws of nature. We see this happening in the weight loss world. Listen, the fundamentals of the foundation doesn't change. When you eat more than you burn off in terms of exercise and just your daily lifestyle, what happens? You gain weight. I know, it sucks. Believe me. I am tried to change this fact because, believe me, I like my donuts, pizza, and all the other yummy things that you like to eat too. But when consumed in excess, surprise, you're going to gain weight. A lot of people try to change these facts because of their feelings, and so they develop things like body positivity movements. But it doesn't change the facts. You will not lose weight if you are not in a caloric deficit. We see people trying to change this when it comes to actualities and facts like their gender. No matter what you can do, no matter what you try to do, you can't change your biological sex. And I'm not going to go off on that tangent, but the fundamentals of a sturdy foundation are no different for business. There are core principles that, when applied, you can't go wrong. And when not applied, you've got quicksand. And what happens when you build things on quicksand is that you will inevitably drown. So, what do you think we're talking about today? After diving into this for about 5 minutes now and going off, we're going to talk about how systems are the key to a sturdy foundation. And I just took a deep breath there because a sturdy foundation brings you peace. It really does. That's the key to eradicating all anxiety in your life, is a sturdy foundation. But a lot of people build their lives and their identities on quicksand. It's not a foundation. They ignore the fundamentals. They think they can make up their own rules and recreate the rules and recreate facts that are facts. And you can't. You can't. And so what happens, we're so addicted to the dopamine hits, thanks to social media, that we are in constant search of sexy, new, and the next best thing. But the thing is, a lot of us are just not willing to do what it takes. We don't like the rules, so we want to make up our own rules. We get distracted by shiny new objects. Some business owners, for example, get sold on all kinds of BS masterminds and BS courses. To be honest with you, it's happened to me too. Because they'd rather learn about the sexy stuff because they're avoiding the work that's really required to get the long-term results that they are supposedly after. I don't believe what you say. I believe your behavior. And I believe that you value what you purchase. Want to know what you value? Look at your purchasing behavior. Want to know what you believe? Take a look at your behaviors. Want to know what you think? Take a look at your results. Here's the thing. This is all going to come back to haunt you at some point. The quicksand kind of life instead of the sturdy foundation kind of life. It always comes back at some point to haunt you. Just like an obese body, an obese person has built their behaviors on what they want now, that instant gratification. They're not building behaviors and routines when repeated consistently will give them a sturdy foundation, will afford them the donuts. Yeah, you've got to actually earn the donuts. You've got to actually earn the pizza. But a lot of us don't want to earn it. We're entitled. We want to be entitled to the results before we put in the work. Like, you can actually eat donuts, ice cream, and pizza. Okay, literally the other day, this is yesterday as of recording time, I had pizza, pasta, donuts, ice cream, all in the same day. That I wasn't worried that I was all of a sudden going to balloon up and become obese. But if I would compound that kind of behavior over and over, you bet yourself I'd gain weight. Never mind that it feels like crap to eat like that in the first place. It felt good in the moment. I didn't have any regrets when I woke up this morning, except for, the 3-4 pound jump on the scale, but that's just water weight, just carbs. And you begin to learn that over time as you understand the fundamentals of building a foundation when it comes to your body and your physique. But what is my point? Is that you don't get to do that. You don't get to go, and this is as we're out and about with our daughter, and we're walking around at what I would describe kind of like an outdoor mall type of a place. And there are just overweight people everywhere. Everywhere. Why? Because they're eating pizza and donuts and just just so much average walking around. Are you guys asleep? I am very confused. Have you looked in the mirror? Is this the kind of life you want? Is this the kind of body you want to operate in? It's like you have no respect for yourself, honestly. I hope I'm pissing some of you off because then I'm doing my job. I'm being honest. You don't get to do that. You don't get to walk around and eating donuts and pizza and drinking your wine and expect a different result because you haven't built the foundation. You haven't earned it. You see, I've earned being able to eat the donut, pizza, and ice cream all in one day. I have earned that. But man, I could lose that very quickly if I were to continue that kind of behavior today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And it's not just the pizza, the donut, it's just calories. No such thing as bad food, by the way. Not bad food, good food. Some foods don't make you feel as good. So you can label them what you want. Probably not the best foods, probably not the most macronutrient foods, But you get my point here. Not bad foods, good foods. Look, the overconsumption of anything. The overconsumption of anything, whether it's food, alcohol, money, the overconsumption of work, it will kick you out of balance. There is a cost and a consequence to that building your behaviors on quicksand, right? So same with spending money. Like, why do some people have more money than others? Don't ask an average person this question because they're going to be, because the evil people. No. Why do some people have more money than others? Because you got people spending money that they do not have, who don't understand the fundamentals of money, the fundamental principles, the fundamental laws of nature when it comes to energy exchange, which is money. They don't understand how to make money. They don't understand how to manage money. And they certainly don't understand how to multiply money. But let's just get to the basics of making money. A lot of people don't understand the fundamentals of making money. And then they certainly don't understand how to manage money. There's so much debt. Let's not talk about our country here, right? Americans are learning those behaviors from our politicians. But here's my point. I mean, it's the same thing like people who are in debt, most likely going to be obese, because it's like the same concept, what they're doing here. The overconsumption of something that they don't have, and the overconsumption of something that they haven't earned. Entitlement. Everything has a system to it. Everything is built on fundamentals and fundamental principles, and there are fundamentals that you have to follow in nutrition. There are fundamentals that you have to follow when it comes to money, and there are fundamental frameworks you need in order to operate and scale a business. No different. So we're going to talk about that in more details. And I went off on a few tangents there because I felt passionate and called to do it. Thanks for tuning into my show. I'm the founder of Scale Ventures and want to invite you to learn more about how we help high-achieving men and women just like you. As a shareholder and owner of multiple 7- and 8-figure businesses, find out if you qualify and get on my wait list at scaleventures.com. That's spelled SKAYLE ventures.com. So let me tell you the benefits of systems in a business, and then I'll also break down the benefits of having systems or routines in your personal life. So this episode is applicable to anyone. You can send it to anyone, whether you're a business owner, somebody who is a high achiever, somebody attempting to live a high performance lifestyle. This is what it's going to take. I don't want to sugarcoat it, guys. I don't want to make it sound easy, because if it were easy, everybody would do it. But I think the harder life is doing the easy stuff at the front end of your life. You get what I'm saying? So do the work now. 5 reasons why systems are critical for business. Number 1, consistency. Number 2, efficiency. Number 3, scalability. Number 4, accountability. Number 5, innovation. Innovation is very important in business. Consistency creates trust with your customer base. Efficiency saves time, which means you don't end up with more employees than you need. Want to know why you're bloated in the business? Want to know why you're bloated in your tummy this morning, Nineveh? Because you ate a lot of pizza, donuts. You got overconsumed. There's such a thing as hiring too many people as well. A lot of times that slows things down. I've seen that as businesses try to scale. Oh, we just hire another person. We need another person to do this. No, y'all are not consistent. Y'all aren't being efficient. You don't have the proper systems in place. And you think the solution is to hire another person? That's just going to slow shit down for you. That's not always the solution. Sometimes, and most of the time, it's because of the way that we're operating. 99% of the time it's that, unless you're working on a growth plan. So, want to know why you're bloated in business and you have to continuously hire more and more people? It's because you're not efficient. And you can't be efficient at something you can't see or have visibility into. You're just making it up as you go along. If you don't know how a particular area of the business is operating, or you don't understand how that particular area of the business needs to operate, then it is impossible to come up with a plan to be efficient. Like you probably lack transparency in a lot of the areas of your business. Scalability. You can't scale anything. You cannot scale a product or service without a fail-proof system around it. I'm going to take a deep breath there. The system is what creates the predictability for the customer. The assurance that every time you sell a customer and onboard them into your ecosystem, they will have the same experience as the next customer using your product or service. Don't you want it to be predictable? You want to have a streamlined experience? That's your key to scalability right there. Accountability. Let's talk about accountability. How are you supposed to hold your internal team accountable without a system in place? Like, what would you be holding them accountable to? Impossible, once again, because you'd be holding them accountable to insights that are based on your feelings and not facts. I don't really trust people's feelings. Why? Because feelings are they're fleeting. Like, I feel this way this hour, and then like every day you're oscillating between a range of emotions. Did you know that as a human being? Like, I would love to just be up here the whole time, and that's our goal, to kind of stay here in the middle and oscillate back up, but there's this oscillation of emotion that happens throughout the day. So we're not going to trust our feelings here, because feelings come and go. We trust the system that we built, right? And you have to be accountable to a system. We cannot be accountable to only our feelings, right? Innovation. Innovation was number 5 on the list. How can your company possibly have the time or bandwidth to innovate in the marketplace if you're operating without systems? You can't, because you're too busy putting out fires. A lot of you trying to like build partnerships and SaaS tools and I don't know what. Y'all don't even have a system in business. What are you thinking? The same problems are going to show up for you. In fact, a lot of entrepreneurs, what they do is they're like, oh, blah, 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 okay, because they're like all about that shiny object syndrome. That's what they've got. Most entrepreneurs I've met, especially at the beginning, I would say that first $5 million mark, they've got that shiny object syndrome. And the issue is they get distracted really easily. They don't focus on the fundamentals because, it's not sexy. It's boring. It's annoying. And like what really fuels your fire as an entrepreneur is like the exciting stuff. You're kind of like a little bit addicted to the adrenaline rush and the dopamine of building a business. You love the sale. Yeah. Ooh, ah, right? Very masculine, right? Feminine finds strength in structure, in system, in security. Feminine is scalability. So not to make this a masculine feminine thing, I'm not talking about man, woman, I'm talking about the energy balances within yourself and even in your business. You could look at it like the yin and yang of your business. Too much yin, don't have enough yang. What happens? Out of balance, right? Same concept here. So when you fail to innovate, you fail to compete, and you get eaten out of the marketplace. So this is why I say it is so essentially easy to win in business. You just have to stay in the game, and you have to build the fail-proof systems around it. What about personally? Let's talk about our personal lives, right? I like to think of routines as our systems in our personal life. Why is having routines critical for us personally? Because there's a parallel here, by the way. How you operate your business is probably how you operate your personal life. You got a lack of systems in the biz. You probably have a lack of routines or a lack of order in your personal life as well. You know what makes us feel safe and secure? Routines, predictability. Very few people love to fly by the seat of their pants. They may say that they like that it's not lasting. You know what I'm saying? Even entrepreneurs who start out that way eventually will have to evolve out of those ways because of necessity to grow their business. You can't operate like that forever as an entrepreneur. That's why a lot of entrepreneurs don't actually last, So why are routines a big deal to our personal life? Here are 5 reasons for you. 1, productivity. Number 2, consistency. Number 3, accountability. There's that word again. Number 4, time management. And number 5, our mental health. Our mental health. I think the most important thing in life is our mental and physical health, that is number one. How can you be productive if you don't know what to focus on daily? How can you produce results if you aren't consistent? How can you be accountable if there is no system to be accountable to? How can you possibly manage your time without routines? And most importantly, how do you think a lack of routines would impact the state of your mental health? Systems provide structure similar to the structure of your home, right? When you go home, what happens? You feel safe and calm. You're comfortable. Your home is comfortable because it's built on a strong foundation. Now, you can't see the foundation, but the foundation is there. The walls, the structure underneath, you're getting too distracted by the couch. Everybody wants to buy the couch before they build the home. You want to buy your Gucci before you buy your, build your systems in your business. Typical. Having a routine around sleep, exercise, self-care is going to help you manage that stress and anxiety. Stability and predictability, they are key to creating that safe space for yourself mentally. Think about the way our brains are designed. And I've talked about anxiety before. You have like the one part of your brain that is responsible for the rest and digest, and the other part of your brain that is responsible for fight or flight. So when you don't have a system, when you don't have a sturdy foundation, what do you think happens up here mentally? Danger, danger, danger. So this is why routine, system, structure, and foundation are so critical to our mental health. And I'm not saying that you can predict everything in your future, but there are a lot of variables that you do have control over. You can control the outcome of your sleep. You can control the outcome of your health by creating routines that you actually stick to, that you're consistent with, and the right routines. And I think that accountability factor that I talked about when it comes to our personal life, that's where the coach comes in. That's where the program comes in. It's no different in business than it is in your personal life. In business, if you do not have a business coach or some kind of somebody, a strategic advisor, a consultant guiding you and holding you accountable, like what's holding you accountable as a business owner? Tell me that. Like we in our businesses that my husband and I own, we have a lot of accountability. We have consultants and advisors that we answer to. If you, I don't trust a leader that doesn't have that. Like you're rogue. You're chaotic. Like you're just doing stuff based on your feelings and what you think you should do based on the limited knowledge that you have, by the way. So no different in our personal lives as well. So wait a minute, you mean to tell me that you are going to get in shape all on your own without any accountability? And how do you know what you're supposed to be doing when you don't even ask for help? But you have to believe, by the way, that you're worthy and deserving of all of this. You can even control the outcome of your career if you would just put a system around time management and productivity alone. I can always tell what type of employee you're going to be. I just ask about your personal life. I ask you a couple of personal questions. That's all I have to do. Interviewing people is very easy for me. I can do a whole episode on that. I'm not going to interview you about your resume. Why would I do that? You're going to give me the best answers. It's on your resume. It's clear, what jobs you've had. It's clear what your role's been. I can call people and ask around. I'm going to ask a couple of questions about you personally. It's going to tell me a lot about how productive you're going to be in the workplace and how you manage your time. It's very easy when you know the right questions to ask. So whether you are running a business or you're running your life, like we all are, we are the CEO of our life. What type of CEO are you? What kind of results do you have in your life? Maybe you need to fire yourself as the CEO if your health is out of order. Maybe you need a little guidance on how to become a better CEO of your life. And nobody said that you were supposed to figure this out alone, by the way. You're supposed to need help. You're not supposed to be a lone wolf in all of this. I don't know where we were taught in society that we're going at this alone. We're supposed to be helping each other when it comes to running our business and running our life. So whether you're running a business or you're running your life like we all are, systems are the key to a sturdy foundation. And systems, a sturdy foundation, is what is going to bring peace in your life. A lot of you think it's more money going to solve my problems. But if you don't know how to manage money and multiply money, more money is not going to solve your problems. You see what I'm getting at? Y'all are paying attention to the wrong things. The foundation is where you need to look. Thank you for listening, as always. Let me know if you like this one.